Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new series called A Psychic's View. In today's episode, I am journeying with Andrea, a lovely, I guess she used to be a client and now a really good friend that I travel with all the time. And we go on a bit of a journey. The first half, I ask Andrea some really pertinent questions about the benefits that she finds from traveling interdimensionally, working with multidimensional consciousness, and kind of energy hygiene practices. And then we both travel to a realm. The intention for a psychic's view is to, one, show you how easy it can be to access other dimensional spaces. Two, to be the eyes for you to kind of help you feel, sense, and train to these other dimensional spaces. And three, to channel healing currents of light and energy and sound that you can tangibly feel through your body. It's my intention that we all have access to realms where we can receive guidance and information, clearings and activations. So the journey is kind of intense. No, it's not intense. It's actually really beautiful. I would say find a comfortable space to lay down, put on your headphones, and journey with me. We open up the space for anyone who wants to be there. And as I was recording and filming, I could really feel who was present and kind of sense the people tuning in, which is you. So this is a part of a larger series which I'm launching soon, which is my interdimensional travel series, basically taking you to 6 different interdimensional realms where I show you how to go there, channel information, beings, and then run energy activations for you to upgrade your frequency and remember who you are on those other levels, to embody that here in this dimension for the awakening and expansion of humanity into our multidimensional power. I hope you enjoy. Leave all your comments in the section below. And if you know a psychic that you would like to see on this channel to journey together, tag them or share their information below, because I'm really excited to continue this series and create a community experience. Sending you all my love. Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special and new series called A Psychic's View, where basically I meet with people who I think are interesting and talented to ask them a series of questions of how they clear their frequency, how they multidimensional and interdimensionally travel and shift, the benefits that they find of tuning into different collective consciousnesses for their own healing and activations, and then where we basically just go to a realm, describe what it is that we're seeing, who we're interfacing with, some energy hygiene tips, and then channel some information and some energy so you can feel confident and safe in your own ability to perceive other dimensional landscapes and work with your family of light on the other side for whatever your intention is. This is connected to a larger series which will be launching soon, the Interdimensional Travel series. So check that out in the link below. Today we have Andrea. Welcome, Andrea.
Thanks, Katie.
Andrea, how do I know you?
How do you know me, or how long?
How do I know you? I'm thinking in my mind, I was like, Andrea has been my mentor for years and years. And then I realized, no, you haven't. But in other capacities, I feel like you have been a big source of energy for me. But we actually started by you were doing the multidimensional energy course, which seems
That's
funny
right.
now.
I came to you about 2 years ago for just one of your beautiful encoded frequencies sessions. And immediately it kind of got wild and fun and interesting. And so I booked kind of a few more. And then it was pretty obvious that we needed to work together and do the course and see how it was all going to unfold. And unfold it did.
Very cool. Well, I guess before we go up, we've kind of traveled to lots of different dimensional realms. I feel like I've traveled with you one of the most people out of all of the people that I kind of connect with. I've been to different dragon realms, we've been to inner earth realms, we've been so deep out in the cosmos that we both felt a little bit sick and had to come back. I've met fractals of you on top of mountains in angelic realms. We've been to lots of different places. What do you think is the key takeaway for people listening of a benefit to exploring your multidimensionality through these types of interdimensional travel experiences?
There's so many, but I think from this Earth experience, it is so empowering to see that you're so much more than this incarnation, this small experience. That all of those other realms that are out there are not just something outside of yourself, but they're truly part of you. And so you feel like you expand as a person, as a soul, and you feel just much more connected to whatever that unknown thing that's out there. You feel closer to God, you feel closer to yourself, you feel closer to everyone. I think before that I felt quite disconnected from other humans and their experiences, and now I feel very connected to everyone in a very different way that I wouldn't have felt had I not delved into those experiences.
Realms. And that's the whole point, isn't it? Recognizing when you go out the unification consciousness of it all, that I feel like when you're limited by the third dimension experience, if you wake up, go to work, watch TV, all of the like very in this realm experiences, it's super easy to feel disconnected or hate or judgment or disconnection from humanity. And then when you go out, I feel like as soon as you reach a higher level of consciousness, you get to take a breath and remember, oh my God, this is just like a silly game that we're playing and we're all pretending to be assholes. And we actually are so much more alike than you realize. So that's a cool takeaway of experiencing those things. Where is your, like at the current time, where is your favorite realm to go to? Like, where do you go for your own healing and who do you like to work with the most? Like, what type of energies?
I feel like every time I go up, I go to different places, and I can never say, I'm going to go to this place. That never happens for me. But I do feel like there is, if I'm just very calm and in my own time, away from any expectations or have put any parameters on what I need to achieve while I'm there, I do feel like I go to this place that is very close to source, God's source energy. It's incredibly nourishing, loving. It just feels like home for me, in a way that it's very difficult to describe. It's just full of light. I don't particularly see anything, but I feel everything.
Would you say that's your
And as far as,
strongest sense? Your clairsentience and your clairempathy and
yeah, they're very closely intertwined. I used to get very frustrated about not being able to see. But once I let go of that and understood that I'm seeing with everything I am, not just my eyes, and understood that the feelings and the emotions and the uh, intuitive hits, I guess you probably call them, was actually a form of seeing. Then I started to see more as well. It's different to how I expected it to be, and it's still emerging and evolving. But sometimes I'll just get a visual pop in and pop out. Um, but it's not like a movie like I hoped it would be. But who knows? It's still evolving. But yeah, it's a very once you surrender, I think, and let go of all expectations, that's when it unfolds and just start to go all in and trust. That was the biggest lesson for me, not holding back and just waiting until it was very, very clear, just going, okay,
because
here we
I've
go.
watched you from from when you first started? Like over the last 2 years, I've always known. So I think my superpower is whenever I'm working with someone, I can see their capacity, I can see their greatest, highest version. So I'm everyone's biggest advocate and cheerleader in sessions. I'm like, you're so powerful. And it's really been fascinating to watch you come from a place where you adamant that you can't see, that you're not really going to get things right, that you can't channel beings, that you're not sure who you're meeting with, to we just did a session the other day with Jamie, and you were explaining to her where the trauma was, that she's sitting like this inner child aspect, who her guides were. Like, I really have watched you, and I think that's the whole thing, is trust whatever you're downloading or in training to with all of your senses, that you take your hands off the wheel and you're like, I'm just going to say it, and I'm just going to trust. And that is when your power just went, and your sessions are just off then titties. So I think that would probably relate to a lot of people who are expecting to see things in a certain way and being very frustrated with their gifts that they can't see. And I also want to say to everyone, when I'm doing my channelings, I'm not seeing all the time. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. But Andrea put it perfectly. I might be getting a hit or a feeling or a sensation, or I might see and feel nothing, and I'm just saying words because it's just channeling through cognizantly. So that's really cool. And then who are you mostly working with today at this time?
I, I think I work with my big self, I guess, if you want to call it. Some people call it oversoul, some people call it your soul. So I don't ever have any labels for anything, but there's a bigger version of me. And then I'm very, very closely connected with the dragons. And I have actually now met my dragon self. And that's taken things to a whole other level as well. So sometimes they're just about, and I'm not necessarily directly communicating with them, but yeah, and I'd have that very big affinity. I do also have quite an affinity with Fae, but I again don't, wander through the landscape, seeing them pop up underneath trees or anything.
Yeah.
But I just have that awareness that they're about. Um, I've never had any communication with what anyone would traditionally call guides or uh, any any kind of thing that you would, again, that expectation had to go, that kept waiting for something to appear or something to
A
whisper
man
in
in a
my ear.
cloak. Yeah.
Yeah, and so once again I just went, well, actually I'm still doing things without this guidance that's overt and in my face. um yeah, so it's, for me, it's felt very much like an inner journey with me, myself, and
I
the
know.
dragons, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so many types of dragons, so many different versions and frequencies, and masculine and feminine and power and flame dragons and smoke dragons. Like, there's so many types of dragon consciousness. So anyone out there that's listening that's inspired by dragon energy, I'd recommend even doing, I found a cool meditation of like meet your dragon meditation. If you've been inspired to connect with dragon consciousness, it's a journey and a really powerful one. When I gave birth to Cyrus, a dragon flew into my body and like helped me literally give birth. At that time, I was listening to this drag. I wasn't even channeling light language at that time. I was just listening to light language, which seems crazy. I think I was just channeling light language then, which is under 2.5 years ago. And the power that moved through my body, just connecting to the energy of that, is 100% how I gave birth, through their energy. So pretty insane. Okay, I would like to, before we go in, ask one last question, and then let's go up and see where we go. Let people come on a journey. Energy hygiene, it's super important. And I think anyone who's wanting to do multidimensional, interdimensional traveling, or just any energy work, or just existing as a being in this realm, how do you best prepare your frequency to interdimensionally travel?
So there's physical things that I do. So I always start with the space. So obviously the room I'm in, but also in my house. So I always make sure that's really clean and clear. So I set a self kind of cleaning mode for my house that takes things up every night before I go to sleep, and that goes for 24 hours. Before I'm about to do a session, I'll always go outside. And I don't ground as in really center myself and put roots into the earth anymore, but I certainly do take on the energy of the nature that I live around and keep it and feel that connection and groundedness. In my actual room, I always wrap all of my devices. Most of the time, we're working with
You're the
screens in
most
some
thorough person
capacity.
I think I know.
I am. I'm very much that
I
way.
respect
And then,
it.
of course, my room, I seal up the room energetically and give it a bit of a polish. Myself, personally, usually I just run light through my whole being. And I just imagine it. I know people do it differently, but for me, I just imagine it coming in through and just kind of filling up, but in reverse. Normally when you fill a glass, you fill it up. Well, I fill it up, but it's going down. I don't give it to the earth. I feel the earth is doing its best right now to be cleansing and clearing. So I send it back up to the great central sun. I never give any rubbish to the earth. That's I feel thing. I don't feel that doesn't feel right
I
to
never
me
put anything
anymore.
down either. Now that I think about it, I'm always fractaling things right into the core of source. It's so effective and it's
Mm,
so fast too. It's just like instant.
yeah, it feels like pollution to me to give it to this
I
poor
haven't thought about it like
planet that
that.
is just doing her best to kind of get things right in the world, and then we go and put all our crap in there. It's just like, no, I don't do that anymore. It was what originally, you get taught in and certain
Put
methodologies
it
and
into
stuff,
the
but
earth.
I
Yeah.
don't, it doesn't feel good. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Sometimes I also send protection to whoever I'm working with, so I'll
Yeah,
just
you do.
go into their space and, make sure that's nice and clean too.
And
Yeah.
it's so effective. I've literally, Andrea, been in so many dire straits, like for show days or if I'm going out in public or if I'm doing an event. And I feel like I've texted you so many times being like, I remember one time I was like, I can't do it. I feel rubbish. And I sat down and you're like, oh, I'll just go in. I'll just tidy your frequency up. And then like literally I can feel when you enter and when you exit my field. And I remember one day I said to Will, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm going to have to sit in the car. And then like 10 minutes later, I was like, oh, I'm balanced. So these things that we do for other people, and that's why I think learning to share and run energy, you don't need to be super talented, but if you do it with dedication and discipline and support and a technique, it's so effective and it literally is life changing. Playing with people's frequency in a positive way is the most life changing experience that I've ever had. So thanks for always saving my butt. You're like my personal galactic powerful bodyguard.
And you, for me, it's a reciprocal situation. I get as much as I give, and I think that's the thing about this kind of energy work. It fills you up.
Yeah,
If somebody reaches out and says, "Hey,
I need help.
I can't quite get there myself today. Can you go in?" You come out feeling as good as the you get it too. It's a
100%.
beautiful thing.
100%.
Mm.
It becomes addicting. Like making these YouTube videos is addictive. I'm like, ooh, what am I going to channel next? But then I have to like balance my energy and be like a human for a while. Okay, I think we should go up.
Okay.
I'll put on some music for everyone. I would say anyone listening at home, you're going to be able to feel the energy. You're going to be able to journey with us. So lay down if you want to, close your eyes, let the impressions and the energy and the sensations envelope your field. Don't maybe listen to this while you're driving if you're super sensitive or empathic, because yeah, go with the journey or come back to it at a later time. I'll set the space and some intention and invite you in as a participant as well. Andrea, would you like me to send you a piece of music that we can journey with?
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
Let's use the God Source soundtrack. Okay. So I'll guide us through a little energy clearing and not protection, but just like effervescent field clearing meditation. And we'll set our intention for where to go. You let me know when you're ready, Andrea. Oh, the music's a bit loud. Okay. Okay, my friends. Andrea, thanks for coming with me. I'm excited. Okay, so closing down your eyes, rubbing your hands together, and just visualizing painting white light sealing off your room. Visualizing white going all along the walls. And visualizing white light moving along the floor. Okay, and then let's just clear the space. I just like to evoke a white tornado of light moving around my energy field. And then I just feel a magnetic sensation just above my energy field, and I just open up a gentle portal of light over my crown, and I begin to feel a tunnel of light directly entangling with the great central sun. And I always set my intention to release mental, lower vibrational thoughts, emotional thoughts, other people's energy and collective energies that may have stagnated within my field for today. And I generally just feel a sensation of pulling up. And then I like to just bring rainbow light all around the outskirt linings of my toroidal field. So feeling how my energy is operating today, my field is large or small. And I always use sound to direct energy for some reason. It's just what I connect to most. So before we go anywhere, Andrea, I just want to set some sacred space. Calling in my higher self, my very highest self, calling in all higher selves of the ones who will ever tune into this experience. Calling on full God source light, all ascended masters, archangels, galactic beings of the purest light. We set our intention today to travel to an interdimensional realm for the purpose of exploration and sharing insights and wisdom, and inspiring and allowing others to recognize their own fundamental ability to harmonize with these higher states of consciousness for whatever they may need at that time. Okay, so Andrea, I'd love for you to describe, can you take us up? Can you take us to the place?
It's a beautiful swirling sensation today. I'm feeling it's very joyful and light. It feels like we're dancing up there today. It's quite lovely.
Mm-hmm. So should I come into that channel of light?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah, can you feel that swirl? It's just a very, it's almost like we're just gently, slowly dancing. Imagine, here we go, a dragon.
I was going to say, I see your dragons around you.
We're kind of riding with them going up. It's quite lovely. I've not done this before, so every time is different and unique.
I will say,
experience.
When I travel interdimensionally, for anyone that is also coming, I feel almost like you know when you go on an airplane and you kind of have to pop your ears and you feel that lightning sensation. Sometimes I have to take a really deep breath as I feel my vibration raising and the spin rate of my frequency accelerating, if that makes sense. So sometimes you might feel a subtle adjustment. Okay, I can see Andrea's energy body. So when I travel interdimensionally, Andrea, I don't know if you do this too, but I can perceive myself as myself. I can also be a version of myself that is watching myself travel. I can take a bird's eye view. I can see Andrea in her room as a human, and then I can see Andrea's energy body, and I see you quite white and valiant is maybe the word, and I see you on a dragon's back, but I also see maybe 6 smaller dragons around you. They kind of, it's almost like they're the size of the egg, and they feel like not protectors, but they feel like if at any point you needed a certain code or energy, that they would supply that for you. Does that make sense, Andrea?
Yes, very much.
Okay, so I'm following you now. Where are we going? Lead us through.
I see this very beautiful gold light. It feels like we're just in a like the green room, just waiting to go to the main arena. So I feel like here is just a little bit more cleansing.
Yeah, me too.
Happening, and just an acclimation. And I feel like those dragons are just helping us. Those are the ones you mentioned. It's just very much being imbued with a kind of a golden frequency, again, which I don't normally work with. So we'll see what this is.
I'm just gonna
Yeah, you go.
I just want to say, anyone that's in this space with us, I'm just going to open up a really gentle portal of light over your field. They're showing me it's almost like a cleansing, and interestingly, the dragon consciousness energy is cleansing down off them. Like instead of taking energy up, it's like almost like a, if you could imagine, fire breathing down. There's just some stickiness that people are carrying politically and globally and oppressively, if this makes sense. So they're showing me the hologram of other people's energy systems, and it's what actually, like chewing gum, sticks you to the third, well, maybe not even the third, the fourth, like a lower vibrational frequency. Does this make sense? So anyone that wants to have that, yeah. Sorry, you go, Andrea.
I'm just watching this unfold, so I see 2 big necks of the dragon kind of surrounding that energy of the collective who are joining us. It's a very loving, cleansing.
I'm just going to say some codes for a minute. Yeah. They're saying it's important to understand these are not frequencies that you're even aware that are stagnating in your field. It's almost like the filter. They're showing me a tap of water, how you put a filter on your water, and if you don't change it often enough, you think, oh, I've got a filter on and the water is clear, but they're showing me there are background, I don't want to get into negative energies, but there are background vibrations that you don't even recognize are stagnating and sticking to you. You know?
I see it like a drill bit swiveling around, and you know how bits get stuck to the drill bit and you have to clean it. And I see that as it's spinning, those shards and bits of dirt and the muck coming off, and those dragons around the outside are taking that away, absorbing it to take it away. Oh, nice big bit just came in.
Chiarato, marriarato, shishirato, macarriarato, totireri, arato, totariarato, totariarati, shishirato, I'm just going to go down the spine, the vertebra of the spine. That feels a bit better. What about you?
Just a little bit of dust coming off on the bottom left.
just going to run a violet light in the very central energy channel of... Yeah, there we go.
It was just a little bit of serpent energy that just came off then too.
Nice. So people at home, just take a deep breath in through your energy system. You might even like to just gently rock your shoulders side to side. If you feel this clearing, let it happen. And you might even like to call in your own healing teams as well to join you. Okay.
That's much better now.
And they're just showing me a heart expansion frequency. There are collective fears about what it is. I guess you and I, Andrea, don't have this fear as much, and some people are instant travelers, but they're showing me just for a percentage of people, 38%, they're showing me there's still stagnated fear in the heart about going to other dimensions, from being kidnapped or tricked or tortured. Doesn't make sense. So they're showing me there's a slight expansion of the heart that would greatly assist the journey upwards and onwards. So how would you run that light, Andrea?
Yeah, so I would say to just come into your heart space and just focus, knowing that the heart space is only accessible by you yourself. So to try and open that as much as you can and allow the light in, and as you do that, find a safe space in there that you can feel. So I've just found it for myself. If you imagine yourself standing in there, you might see just light like I do. You might see a cave. You might see, and if you then look into the energy of that, it might be a crystalline type thing with lots of lovely, you can make it whatever it is. If it doesn't feel as great as perhaps you would like it to, imagine a fire and just step through the fire, warm yourself by the fire. Imagine the smoke cleansing as if you were lighting incense or sage or palo santo. Just feel that just open. As that smoke is coming up, feel it opening your heart space even more, and feel the nurturing and the safety of the smoke and the fire.
I'm just going to fractal crystalline, it just looks like crystal diamonds, if you would, light, purification light. Okay, let's go up. Let's keep going.
The energy feels playful now. It feels lighter and more childlike. It feels, that sense of adventure when you're little and you don't think about the fear. You just think about the wonderful things that are promised, or it has that lightness about it now.
I feel like I'm jumping out of this room and I'm on like a creature's back and I'm like, woohoo, let's go play.
Well, yeah.
Let's go play together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. I feel like for some people those wings will feel quite angelic, and for others it'll feel more dragon-like, and then for others I can even see the wings on their own back. It doesn't matter. Whatever the imagery is that comes to you is right for you. I think sometimes when you go through a guided meditation, you feel like you have to stay on track and do whatever being led, but do make it your own.
Mm-hmm. And they're saying there's nothing wrong with thinking that you're an earth angel if you want to identify with the frequency of angelic status and their level of purity. Do it. like do that just for fun. Okay, so they're showing me a really high now that we're speaking about angels, they're just showing me a super high frequency tube of light. Let's travel up to the highest interdimensional realm where we can receive insights, informations. Andrea, I already see her there. What are you sensing at this time?
I feel us all standing there. Yeah, it was like an arrival all together, almost like a very soft landing on the feet. We're in a circle.
I can see a great temple of light, and it's almost like, you know how we go to the Akashic realm sometimes and it feels really light and there's lots of information here? For me, I can see you in your larger form, Andrea, and there's beings in a circle kind of holding hands or kind of anticipating or like excitedly being. And it feels like if we all face north or turn around, there's almost like a really elongated path that we can walk down, and at the very, very end there's like a really like high frequency temple or like a crystalline structure. They're showing me some of the birthplace of the fundamental frequencies of sound and light and energy and color. It's let's call in a guide to take us in to explain this kingdom, this realm. So let's just call on any beings of the highest light to step forward to explain. Yes. Andrea, what are you sensing?
So I saw a staff and a being. At first I saw an old man, but when I looked into it, it was just light, just like crazy amounts of high vibrational light emanating from the heart.
So pause for a moment and feel, feel that energy of that being stepping forward. Very wise, very supportive, very understanding, very ancient. Yeah, nice. Very sturdy and very steadfast. Someone that would understand that you don't know everything yet, and that's perfect. Exactly where we are, that's okay. I'm just going to channel what I feel that energy is saying. Many of you have not had sturdy guidance, one upon your planet as like a father figure or as a sense of safety and structure for your downfalls, meaning the times where you in your plight as a human feel that you have deemed yourself unworthy or judged yourself. There hasn't been an ever-present, everlasting masculine love to assist you through those times, to remind you of your worthiness and your connectivity. And he's just offering for a moment. He's showing me at the back of the heart where this lack of unconditional presence and love and support has left. You know the art where you crack the bowl and then you fill it with gold? It's almost like there are cracks at the back of the heart, and I'm feeling really sad. Cracks at the back of the heart where we can fill that up now. Do you sense that too, Andrea?
Yes, yeah, it's very heart-based.
Yeah, so if you would like to receive a restructuring and support of this energy, I feel like gold and liquid light is coming from his staff. Do you see that?
Yes, yes, I do.
Ooh, if you give permission to release fear about receiving unconditional love, let's just break through those. It's like caps that you've put on yourself to receive because you don't want to get hurt again. There is a valve of the heart which says, when I sense that I might get hurt, I cut myself off from love first, so I am the one in charge or in control. He's saying, showing me 10,000 data points every day where we might be hurt by another. And it takes bravery to allow the light in again.
I saw a light when you said that, a light being drawn in the sand, and if you're brave enough to take that first step over the line to allow, this is the time. And when you do, you can just feel your heart space expanding with light.
To me, his staff has now opened up a golden ring, like an oval portal of light. I think maybe let's all just feel our own oval portal of light open up, and we're just going to it almost gives me Merlin vibes. You know how Merlin is very alchemical? Very. If you're ready to dissolve things that you've taken on board that you thought were your fault, shortcomings or aspects of yourself that you didn't feel have been up to scratch or up to code or good enough, that neither assists your expansion nor makes any sense in the eyes of God, if that makes sense. You came here to fall down and scratch your knee and bump your toe and to get back up and to learn why you fell. So just taking a little more in the high heart. There's like a divine feminine being just assisting. She's saying not only do these frequencies come from this realm inward to your field, there's also inbuilt in the very central, and they've said this word before, quark, or just the central portion of light that originates from the cell. She's showing me at the very core essence, this is the internal spark of creation from within. So you don't necessarily always have to have these frequencies come in. She's alluding or alerting to the fact that there's an untapped well of expansive light from the very, very, very signature core of your, all I can say is cell, but it's much deeper than the cell. So I would just like to activate that light from within. She's saying, oh, this is too complicated. She's saying when this light is on, the genomic sequence or the functioning of the molecular or DNA structure of the physical body knows how to, she's showing me a sorting system, okay? So imagine like alphabet letters along like a factory line. A's go there, B's go there, C's go there. Oh, that letter's a dud. Psh. There's a filtration system of the genomic sequence. She's saying when this light is activated, this is the self-healing self-instant recalibration. I want to say quark, I don't really know what that means, but light essence that can, she's saying that's where miracles happen. How do people instantly heal from cancer or instantly dissolve their brain tumor or whatever this is, right? So she's saying getting in touch with the very, very core centric source essence of the cell by journeying so deep inwards and activating that current of light. Can you see that light that she's talking about, Andrea?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see it connecting and activating through the third eye as well. There's this. It's cool.
She's saying it's a long forgotten art of going inward and turning it on. It's almost like, you know how, what is light language? Codes, sequences, frequencies to activate the dormant underlying script. This seems like the activation of the divine blueprint script.
Yes.
What colors do you see when you tune into that, Andrea?
I'm seeing this very blue purple. But if I look into the light, I can see all of the codes and the geometry.
Same. And it's projecting outwards like a lighthouse. She showed me we can activate one powerhouse, and through, I don't think it's osmosis, but through entrainment, the act of one vibration setting another into motion through resonance and entrainment. The powerhouse, she's actually showing me in the thymus gland. She's showing me right here. If we activate this for a few minutes, as we go upon our journey, this will inform and fractal out like sound waves or light waves resonating throughout and creating almost like a low hum of light. Do you see that? So I just want to set a blanket intention, asking for all frequencies, for all tuning in to activate the thymus as the hum, as the lighthouse, as the power core centric center, only taking in the right amount of activation for you at this time. And activating the core divine blueprint of this individual being. We are all very different makeups, yet very similar. Very similar. Whew. They're showing me, you know how like an atom has those rings around it and there's like a spark of light that travels around? That's how they're showing me the generation of more into that space. What are you sensing, Andrea?
Many things. The filtration system that you were talking about earlier, I feel that was important to say earlier, because this light and coding and things that are coming in to each of the people who are listening to this, their filtration system has been activated to make sure that just the right level of frequency and coding and things is just right for now.
Which is
and
really
I feel
important.
that you can go back, and then later you can go back, whether it's through this particular meditation or whether it's through just your own practice and go through to the next thing. I feel that the message is very strong to go through the heart, and when you go through the heart, that will, when it's time and at the right frequency, activate this third eye in a way that is right. But everyone tries to go through directly through the third eye of the crown, but if you can focus on the heart, then these other things will come through in a more organic
harmonized way.
Yes, which in itself is a form of the most highest internal protection, that you can feel safe and trusted.
Because what does everything beat to? The rhythm of the heart. When the heart is arrhythmic, everything is disordered. When the heart is rhythmic, okay, so I would like to just gently put us in a light frequency pod around your auric field. I'm just going to run that white gold. It's doing some really unique dancing. I can see all the people. It's really cool. I can actually see all the people that will tune in, like maybe like 3,000. Yeah, there's like different, and I can see different people that I've been to class, that have come to my classes. Let's just run all of that light uniformly. And gently. Because I don't know about you, Andrea, but what I'm sensing down the end of this path is like a rainbow crystalline kingdom. And I see this like chair or like divine. It's like a regal seat that we are to like guide people to sit on, and then there's another activation for them. Do you sense that?
I love how you keep putting things into words as I'm seeing them.
Yeah. Yeah,
we're seeing the same thing.
I actually feel a bit emotional. They're showing me blame it on the pregnancy, but as we walk down the aisle, wow, okay, I'm just going to channel for a moment. This is a coming home. This is a bathing in your family. This is a reconnection to the divine, unseen support. As you walk along the path, feel along the road, even imagine a red carpet walking down. There are long lost family members. There are long lost brothers and husbands and children from other realities. There are galactic and angelic family members of light that have come, and they're almost like laying roses or laying symbols or gifts as you walk along the path. Can you see that? So let's take very slow every step your frequency is being nurtured and purified. What are you sensing, Andrea?
Yeah, it's a very much a coming home, a reclamation, but it's so nurturing and so loving, and so it's like, yeah, it's filtering through every system and every thought. It's so fine. It's so I'm trying to think of a word.
Fine.
Like it's pinpointing everything. It's so thorough and so
specific.
Yeah, it is, and it's just there's no stone being left unturned, and everything is being imbued with this light, and there are codes being laid, and I see like a stone turning over, and you'll find the code within you, but it's all within you. It's nothing external.
They're showing me just for a moment a metaphor. Visualize a golden chalice in your hand, and I want you to walk, as you're walking down, when you feel like stopping, hold your cup out, and they're just showing me the masses of beings that have come to greet, pouring a liquid light. Just let that happen now. You might see or sense a being stepping forward. And now just allow yourself to drink from that cup, drink from that light. And feel that energy moving through the bones, the blood, the meridian, the cells, the organs. They're showing me there's an initiation for some when you arrive to the end of the path. Those of you who work in the shamanic realms or kingdoms, there are, or galactic, it doesn't matter. Whatever kingdom you work with, you have all come from a specific space. Many spaces, but many of you have trained. They showed me just like a surgeon becomes a plastic surgeon or a cardioenterologist, whatever it's called. You've all trained in other realms, and when we come to the end, there are certain activations to unlock. And this is what I wanted as the intention, but to unlock the mastery within, they're showing me a golden key within the codes of your blueprint. Some it's channeling mermaid frequencies, some it's working in the shamanic realm, some it's going on ship and doing psychic surgery, some it's laying grid crystal structures through the thought consciousness in Alaska, right? The point is there have been realms that have been hidden from you, and when we come to the end, the activation will unlock codes within. Do you sense that, Andrea?
And when you do that, there's this whole sorry, I'm just saying it, it's quite beautiful.
There's one, okay, just one thing before we move to the end. Okay, for some, and this doesn't apply to everyone, but for some, there have been some connections into, I feel like it's the shamanic realm or I'm just going to say it, other, not denser, there's no hierarchy or judgment, but there's a cord out the back of the spine, and there has been some involvement with realms where the energy or the magic or the frequency or the charge, the healing that you've been using is old, I could say, stagnated, doesn't express the more pure crystalline structure of higher realms and octaves. And I feel like I need to, if you are open to it, allow an energy to unplug from that, because there are realms that you've been connected into for a really long time, repeating, and it's actually stagnating your ability to, I'm just going to say, go higher, channel more purity. Does that make sense to you, Andrea?
It's like a tether.
Yeah, so let's just set our intention. If you're ready, I'm going to open up just a gentle portal of light, an oval way, wherever you're standing on this red carpet. As you move through, what we're going to do is bring a sheath of light codes dangling down from the top to the bottom. And this is going to, I see Andrea standing on the other side. We're going to set the intention for these codes to unplug, detether, decrystallize, disconnect any low vibrational realms that are not in the highest accordance with the soul's blueprint. Any teachers, any members, any cults, any communities, any friends, any systems that have not been, this is super important, in your highest alignment. Walking through now. And releasing all guilt and justification that you've laid to stay connected there. There are people that have tried to But we're family, but we're this. And they're showing me a trap door. If you're ready to just close off accessibility to those realms, I'm just going to put a white sheet of light, like a manhole or something like this, if this makes sense. Collapsing, resolving, dissolving any interconnectivity now. What are you sensing, Andrea?
It's so funny because when you said you sensed that, I was seeing off to the left this beautiful light, and here just something that wasn't quite right. You put your finger on it straight away. When you named it, it appeared, and then I saw with those things an odometer, so a self kind of measuring thing. Then if it isn't there, it goes down. Mm-hmm. If it measures to the highest enough frequency, it will stay. And there's this. I see this swinging arm on the odometer, just measuring the frequency and the
realms. They're saying to me that people have only accepted or allowed themselves to entrain or work with or operate from the frequencies that they feel worthy for. They're showing me even like witchcraft that plays into mostly magic, but then like spells or things like this. This isn't a judgment on that. Like there's positive and negative of everything, but there are older thought consciousness strains of energy and realms that are accessing a weakened version. You are ready to upgrade. You are ready to accelerate. You are ready for so much more. And there will always be people that stay in those spaces, and it is the bravery to up level one's autonomy, respect, and authority. So when we leave this portal and we go to the end of this path, that's when we can unlock the fabric of the moreness of you. Okay, I'm just going to open up a super high frequency tornado of light at the back of your energy field, and I'm just going to collapse now, pulling, releasing, resolving, dissolving from the quantum field any and all connections that are ready to be released. Oh, there's a lot.
I feel it pulling from the solar plexus especially.
There's a lot of shame.
Filling that solar plexus with lots of...
There are lots of ways people have used their magic, and it hasn't necessarily been good. Which is fine. Mm-hmm. It's totally fine. You're all good. We've all been there.
A polarity. Yeah.
Oh, this is a big clearing. Maya suma ishurado Maria sunoniaroto ma iakuma smiato sumakai ishumarado maradiriarato makai kimashusharabadai kinikumakai kimikatato tukitiata. And they're just highlighting. They're just highlighting for one moment the need for energy clearing. Yes, activation work is important. Yes, refining your frequency is important. But how do I explain? Going into the pockets of stagnation that quantumly entangle you to fractals or aspects or energies or realms. Guilt, grief, pain, fear are the vibrations that remain attached, if this makes sense. They're just saying this is why shadow work and going into the parts of you that feel darker is like a super highway to your recalibration, because one second. I'm just bringing a spiral of white light coming through your spine. Could you feel that, Andrea?
Really much so. Through that central channel that was just, but I do still feel like a little bit up in the brain. There's just a little bit of a storage where there's just some old codes just lying around in there. And I feel like they can exit the same way through just the back of the head to the top of the neck.
Oh, look at it. I'd love to hear your codes if you want to share, Andrea.
I feel like there's a meeting point there from the things that were in the spine, solar plexus, and even down into the base, the sacral, and I feel like that's an exit point. We can get those to come up through. I know there's a name for that spot just there, but I'm touching on the back of my and I feel like those old codes that have just kind of just been lying there doing nothing, they can all exit through this way. So I'm just going to put just a tube into there. It's just going to go in a lock. You feel it? I'm just going to just extract from both. They need to come out together.
Oh, they're wrapping together as they come.
It's a bit gentle. There's nothing harsh about this. It's a freeing. If anything, it just feels like a freeing and then just a mop up.
Oh, this is so nice. This is like one of the nicest feelings. Can we set a timer on it?
The new codes. What's that?
You go.
I'm feeling like the new lights, the new codes are actually coming down in through the top of the brain, and it's just filtering through all of the.
Looks like a bunch of binary codes.
Yeah.
Looks like zeros and ones. Looks like pearlescent white zeros and ones filtering through the brain. And then
they're going to just working their way through the back, down through the back of the spine, and they're going to go through that central channel of the spine. It's just also helping to take that last bit of muck out, which you might just start to feel now. You might feel a little bit nauseous. Like an oil and water sensation. The oil, the muck is rising as these light codes are going down in, and they're just going to come out and exit through that
channel. I can feel it. Oh,
yeah. You feel it. You feel it
in my back.
Yeah, so we're just down kind of solar plexus level. Just a little bit more residual resistance just down here.
Oh, it feels good.
Yeah, that's just a lovely gentle lapping. It's just swirling it off the bottom. Just imagine the beautiful beach with the waves lapping in and taking away drawing out the last of that residue. Here it comes, it's coming up the back.
Oh, nice.
Out through.
They're just saying what people don't realize when we are doing, how to explain, 2025, we're humans on the planet. Maybe you're 35, maybe you're 42, maybe you're 28, whatever. They're saying there's a general, at times on the ascension path, feeling and sensation that I've been doing this for 4 years, for 16 years to 25 years. They're saying think more quantumly than that. You are decrystallizing and recalibrating and restructuring so many lifetimes, so many experiences, so many trials, tribulations, lessons, journeys, fractals, versions, because you are coming into a unification with your soul's power and light. You are literally turning yourself inside out. Imagine a workshop or a shed. You're sorting out every bolt and nut over the past, however many lifetimes, millennia, right? This does not just pertain to human lifetimes either. When we have these quantum multidimensional experiences and clearings, you are working on the totality of your signature essence and frequency and vibration and energetic makeup. Does this make sense? So they're saying every clearing, every cleansing, every activation works on multiple layers that your human mind couldn't really actually understand, and you wouldn't want it to understand either, because that's a heavy load. Remember your trauma of being a teenager, remember the trauma of being 6, remember the trauma of being 21. Yeah, that sucked. You don't want to remember everything that you've ever been through. So they're just saying a message of allow, surrender, trust. Don't label, don't judge, don't quantify and linearly structure, oh, I've done this much clearing and this much, because you're only going to get annoyed by yourself. So they're just saying be really open and grateful and expansive in your perspective. I hope that helps.
So all of that is taken out, the plug, the tube has been removed. It's been sealed and locked down, and all of that that's been removed has been taken and given to God. And there's just a message that God wants to thank you for all of those experiences, all of those learnings, all of those
journeys,
energies, because they're being returned and for the greater good, so that it can go into the memory banks, if for want of a better word, storage facility that then goes on to create something bigger. And that's what we're all here for, to experience these things, so that Source, God, creator of our souls, can then use that wisdom to further develop and grow and evolve into the next thing.
That's so fucking cool.
There you go.
That's so cool. You know what, Andrea? I actually think that that's enough for today. I think we should do the activation as another. Let's do that as another journey. I hope that you will come back and do this as another journey if everybody has liked that experience. I just like to run rainbow light. Everyone's clapping. Oh, okay. Just feeling, sensing along this red carpet, resituating yourself in that environment. Okay. I'm hearing trumpets, triumphant music. I'm hearing celebration. Ima ako maasyo ato maka. They're saying what a beautiful, beautiful use of your time to take time out from your worrying, from your media, from your worrying, purging, and your connection into the lower timeline experiences of human reality. These are, yes, important. However, take great pride in yourself to dedicate your mind, not letting it wander. Dedicate your frequency, dedicate your energy for the greater good cause of yourself, the collective humanity, and to further propagate your knowingness, your belief and your foundation in open contact with higher realms, with higher frequencies, with higher energies. The more that this is normalized and used as a medicine, as a opening, as a portal, the stronger the connection is to these other realms, and the easier it will be for the merging of the two worlds, the merging of the collective consciousness into the remembrance of communicating with how do I explain, other dimensional fractals, other dimensional energies. This gap is closing, and soon our brainwaves and like your thoughts and their thoughts or other thoughts will be within a smaller framework, if this makes sense, vibrationally, like sound and light waves, and then they will click in. This takes some time. They're showing me it's going to be a long time. They're showing me the flight from 5th dimension to 6th dimension. Long time. But they're just saying it does not mean that you cannot anchor and seed the foundations, the codings of those higher dimensional realities in you now, and walk around with that as a signal, as a beacon, as an invisible entrainment sound wave to propagate Earth. Yeah? Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I'm just going to run golden light through your crown. And all the way down your energy body. Yeah, I can see the work all Andrea has done. Okay. And just sealing off your whole auric field. If you want to spend a moment giving a hug to family members on the other side, giving a hug to your angels, there's lots of Pleiadian beings. We await to work with you, see you, support you again. And when you're ready, let's just gently meet again at the entrance. All standing in a row, all standing in a circle, connecting hands with everyone that's been on this journey with us today. And we're just going to give gratitude to every individual. Africa, Italy, Japan, Australia, India, America. I see the one and all in one. And I respect the light in you as the light in me. Everyone right now, from your high heart, please just projecting into the center of this circle is a hologram of Earth, they're showing me, and just allowing your light to just project this truth of oneness. Okay, and when you're ready, just filtering back down that little portal. Yeah, like a little slide. Woohoo! Everyone traveling down, spiraling down, coming back into your own body when you're ready. Coming back down and just feeling into your body, giving thanks to all beings and realms that we went to today, giving thanks to Andrea. Okay. And when you're ready, just allowing yourself, we're going to close down all realms, all portals, all connections, all interconnectivity, disconnecting all tethers to these realms, to anyone, and returning into your own individuated field, Closing down, closing down, closing down. Taking everything up into full God Source light. Hey, Andrea.
Hello, Katie.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was a very, very light, and we look lighter.
I feel really light. I feel like an angel.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Thank you.
That was so fun. That was everything that I set as the intention, to go to a place, to have a healing, to have a clearing, to see our family. It's overwhelming when you realize how alone you can feel. Like, it's overwhelming for me that I can be sitting in my room and just sometimes feeling like, what the fuck? Like, what's happening? Why am I alone? Why am I disconnected? And then you go to these realms and it's like, God, I saw my mom and my kids and these dragons and these other beings and all these people that like desperately love us, like desperately know and love us. And that's just a really, I appreciate what they said about closing the gap between our state of awareness and the higher realm state of awareness, to come. What once used to be this big is now going to be here. So their brainwaves are here and ours are here, and soon, well, it might take a while to fully entrain and to be at one with those higher octaves, but
yeah, the gap is lessening over time, and we can entrain up to it and have a little taste of it,
and seed it.
Beautiful. Yes, and bring some of that back with us. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Andrea. I hope that everyone tuning in is drinking some water after this and just integrating, maybe making some notes, do a painting, do a drawing, channel your codes, get creative, do some art. I'd love to hear in the comments below who you saw, where did you go, what did you feel, how do you feel in a few days. Come back in like 3 to 5 days and leave a comment, because other people like to hear. Let's connect. Let's all connect. I hope that you'll also join me very soon launching the Interdimensional travel series, where we do this again and again. Inner Earth realm, Atlantis, Egyptian timelines, wherever the space opens up. They will be pre-recorded as a series that you can go in your own time, because we all deserve access to be able to connect to these realms. Because at the end of the day, I think everyone listening to this channel is a leader. I truly feel like everyone that listens to this are light workers or people that can do this for other people, and there's going to be a critical mass point where you don't really have the luxury to be like, oh, I'm not very good at this. It's actually, you are very good at this, and it's time to do what you're here to do, if that makes sense. And I really feel that in my life, and I see you doing that, Andrea, and it just, people doing what they love and what they're here for is so inspiring to me. So I hope that you all feel inspired to be your fullest self, because we all have a different frequency to bring here, and no one frequency is better than another. We need the full symphony of sound. So I hope that you go out and just add your frequency to the earth. Goodbye, my friends. Next time.
You align